According to the 2021 England Health Survey, 64% of our population is overweight, and globally this is almost 40%. That's 2 out of every 5 people. Well, in a world where putting on weight seems so easy, I'm part of the minority that actually finds it quite hard. Since starting to properly strength train 2 years ago, I've gained consciousness about my size and what I need to do to improve this. To put it simply, just eat more. However, it isn't always so easy. In this video, I'm going to be sharing my top 3 tips which have helped me to gain weight and put on muscle.
Before starting, I want to strongly recommend you lean bulk rather than the so-called dirty bulk. Lean bulking is where you're in a surplus of about 250 to 500 calories above your maintenance. In comparison, the rule with dirty bulking is that there aren't any rules. You often end up with the mentality of eating everything you can see, whether that's fast food or sugary treats. This may sound good in the short term, but obviously for your long-term health, it's not good. And it will only make restricting these foods later on much harder. Studies show that a surplus of around 500 calories above your maintenance is where the majority of muscle growth is maximised, and that consuming any more than this likely results in a diminishing return, basically meaning that there are small gains, albeit very insignificant. Additionally, consuming excessively more than 500 calories is likely to result in an increased fat storage, which, if you are eventually looking to shed this body fat, can make staying in a calorie deficit much harder and for much longer. So ask yourself the question, is it worth it? Although you are still watching what you eat during a lean bulk, it does not mean that you cannot enjoy the foods you like. The 500 calorie surplus can give you that flexibility to fit in a burger, to have a pizza every now and then, especially if you are behind on your calories. The 80-20 rule is a great way to approach your diet. 80% deemed healthy foods and 20% less so healthy. Now, don't purposely go out of your way to have these treats, as you'll get into a bad habit of it. However, if the time comes when you go out for a meal or you don't fancy cooking, then you can utilise this method. Now, bulking up predominantly through whole foods can be challenging, so let's get into ways that you can make this a little bit easier. My first piece of advice is to plan and space out your meals. To do this, decide how many calories you need and then how many meals you want this to be divided up into. Then, all you have to do is space these out roughly equally throughout the day. However, as a general guide, spacing these out roughly about 3 hours apart can allow digestion to take place, so you're not feeling as full for your next meal. For example, I'm currently eating 3,200 calories a day, and so I split these into 5 meals. First one at 8 AM, the second at 11 AM, third at 2 PM, fourth at 5 PM, and the fifth meal is at 8 PM. Each meal contains around 640 calories to enable me to hit my target. As well as distributing the calories fairly evenly across the day, I also like to distribute the protein evenly as well, having about 30 grams per meal in it. Studies show that doing this can help maximize muscle protein synthesis throughout the day and reduces the time spent in muscle protein breakdown, basically enabling the body to build more muscle. However, I know spreading it throughout the day may not always be possible, so as long as you're hitting your daily protein intake, which is recommended at a maximum of 1 gram per pound of body weight, you can't go too far wrong. My second tip is to utilize calorie-dense foods. And I don't mean the burger and chips, although they do have their place. The calorie-dense foods I'm referring to are the likes of peanut butter, olive oil, eggs, chicken thighs, and milk. These foods are denser in nutrients, meaning they are easier to consume due to a smaller portion size relative to their calorie content. I think one of the easiest things you can do is replace chicken breasts with the likes of chicken thighs or a whole chicken. It can also be cheaper as well, which as a uni student is very helpful. They tend to be slightly higher in fat, which adds the calories and also, in my opinion, makes it taste 10 times nicer. Additionally, you can also utilize liquid calories if you're consistently struggling to hit your daily calorie goal. Putting foods like oats, peanut butter, protein powder, milk, all into a blender makes them much easier to consume in liquid form. Now then, Time for my final piece of advice. My third and final tip is to move. Now, this may sound counterintuitive, as on a bulk you need to be eating more than you are burning, so why on earth would you want to burn more? Well, here I'm referring to the likes of 5-minute walks after eating, which can aid digestion and therefore make you feel less full come your next meal. If you are sitting around all day and just eating more and more food, you're going to feel lazy and lethargic, so give it a go. Additionally, the calories you burn on a 5-minute walk really aren't that much, and it's going to have much more benefits to you than negatives. Those were my 3 top tips to help you get your calories in whilst bulking. I hope you found this video useful. Thank you.